Just today, Governor Larry Rhoden announced those who will make up a new task force responsible for determining how to best rehabilitate prison offenders in the new men's penitentiary.
Grant Green has more on the focus of a couple city leaders for this task force. He has our top story here at 6 o'clock. Hello, Grant.
Good evening, Brian and Kara. This is a stacked committee filled with lawmakers, State Department leaders, an attorney, a judge, and many more. These men and women are essentially carrying on the work of the previous Project Prison Reset Task Force by taking the structural makeup of the prison and deciding what programming and services will be best utilized. Sioux Falls Mayor Paulton Haken tells Dakota News Now that he personally requested to be on this task force now that the prison's location in the city is for certain.
Sioux Falls needs to certainly have a strong voice in what sort of programming and services we're going to be providing to these guys, knowing that a lion's share of them, when they release, end up in the city of Sioux Falls.
He says he wants to ensure that programming opportunities for inmates are well covered and that the city can work with the task force on ways to improve the city's most important concern, which is public safety.
Because it's certainly an important thing for the future of this community to ensure that we're providing the right resources for these guys so that that recidivism rate drops, so that the reoffender rate drops, and so that we're making them as successful as possible when they do get released. Because for most of them, it's not an if, but a when.
The majority of crime in Sioux Falls comes from reoffenders. Representative Tim Reich of Howard and a former corrections secretary says this is often because the programming in place is not sufficient to address the needs and concerns of those serving short sentences.
So when you have an increased amount of programming space and you have an increased number of providers there, whether it's mental health, drug treatment, education, we've got a lot better chance of getting the inmate the treatment they need, the education they need, the services they need while they're in prison, and not have to depend upon it coming when they get out into the community.
Reich expressed gratitude in the work to ensure that despite the change in location and design and also a lowered cost, the new prison didn't lose any square feet of programming space and that the new task force has a great foundation to work off of.
I'm encouraged by the makeup of this particular group, and hopefully we can roll our sleeves up and really get some meaningful programs put together and a path forward.
The task force will begin its work later this month. And Mayor Tim Haken said he's ready to take part in task force conversations even after his term as mayor is over in June. The task force group technically expires on January 1st of 2027, so it's certainly a possibility that he does. We'll share the details of when and where the task force will meet as soon as they are provided. Brian.
Grant, thank you.